This tutorial series is for BuildCraft version 4.2.2, the version for Minecraft 1.6.4, which is the current version of Minecraft for the Feed the Beast mod packs. What is up, guys? We are back with part 2 of the BuildCraft ModSpotlight / tutorial series. So let's get started. Alright guys, so last episode we went over world gen as well as different engines and basic crafting recipes, as well as pipes, all the different kinds of transport pipes and fluid pipes. And today we're going to start with what you can do with the power that you generate with your engines. So first thing to look at is, like with the fluid pipes, you can turn transport pipes into kinesis pipes. So if we look at the recipe here, all you have to do is combine a redstone with any type of pipe, any type of transport pipe, and it will turn into a wooden kinesis pipe, or whatever type it is. Now kinesis pipes are pipes that transport power. So you have your item transport, your fluid transport, and your power transport. Now each of these pipes has different levels of energy they can transport. The wooden kinesis pipe, which you have to attach to the engines first, just like with your item and your fluid pipes. Oh, there's the weather again. Let's clear that. Alright, so the first tier is obviously you need the wooden kinesis pipes to connect. Cobblestone kinesis pipes can only transport 8 MJ a tick, so a very basic kinesis pipe. The stone can only do 16, which is a bit better than the cobblestone. The quartz is actually your mid-tier, which is one that most people will probably be using for some middle ground machines and stuff like that. It can do 64. You have your iron kinesis pipe, which has 128, but it also has a selectable limiter pipe, or it is a selectable limiter pipe, and I'll show you what that means in a second. The golden can do 256, which might be also a good choice for some of the higher end stuff. And the diamond, which can do a ridiculous amount of 1024. I don't know really that much machines that you would need to use that for, but if you go big or go home, I guess. Alright, so let's talk about a little basic power gen system. As you can see, I have 3 Stirling engines connected to 3 wooden kinesis pipes. Now, you might think, doesn't the wooden kinesis pipe, since it can only have 32 MJ a tick go through it, doesn't that mean that these can only have as much as the wooden ones do? It does not, because these are connected to each engine, which means that this engine, there's no engine that can go over 32 MJ, so like per tick, which is what this can handle. So then this one takes it from multiple engines, which means it needs to handle more energy at once. Okay? Now each engine obviously needs a redstone signal, just like the redstone engine. And for this test, or this little tutorial here, we're going to use coal to fuel them. Now one thing you could do to have it automated is you can have a redstone engine in the back of the chest. Now you might be thinking right now, I don't see any pipes connecting to them. Kinda can in the back. Let's quickly just, I guess I gotta get in creative real quick. Quickly fly over here. You can see there actually is pipes. Now the reason you can't really see them that well is because of a different item that BuildCraft adds called facades. Now facades, when put on a pipe, let's quickly get a facade. I think that's how you pronounce it. Could be facade, I don't really know. Let's just grab one of some wood, I guess. This is wood from a different mod. But as you can see, I have these facades here, these black bricks. Now, this block is from Chisel, so it doesn't have compatibility with the facades from BuildCraft. But basically what that does is you can put it on a pipe, and you can cover up that pipe, and they won't even notice that there's a pipe there. and it can connect to another pipe through the facades. So you can completely hide a pipe network in the middle of somewhere just by doing this and covering up with facades. Alright, so let's quickly get rid of this. Now, as you can see, our redstone engine has been taking quite a bit of coal out, and it's splitting it up in a random way here. Let's quickly go back to survival, and let's turn these engines on. And I can see they are moving pretty slow right now because they're at their beginning stage, but they are creating power, which you can see as the blue line transporting through the pipe. Now, the iron kinesis pipe, you might see it's red. Well, that's because these can handle 64 Minecraft joules per tick, but it said it could handle 128. However, it can be a limiter pipe. You can limit the amount that goes through. You do that by shift right clicking, or just right clicking, I guess works too. You can set it to how much MJ you want to limit it to. So let's go ahead and set 128 through. You can see it's blue now because it's not saying that it's producing more power than it can let through. Now if you do it to 2, it will start to turn red. At least it should start to turn red, unless this isn't using enough energy right now. Okay, yeah, it's not even using energy right now, so let's go ahead and turn these off so they don't explode. But basically, you can limit the amount you want for a specific thing, which is pretty cool. And this is a BuildCraft machine. It's a basic BuildCraft machine, or not a basic an advanced BuildCraft machine that we'll get to over there. It's really expensive, but quickly I'll just show you the recipes for the facades and for the pipe plugs. Pipe plugs, all you need is to put one cobblestone structure pipe in an assembly table, and it will take a certain amount of power from the laser, and it will slowly build this bar and build that. Now, for a facade, you need 3 cobblestone structure pipes, which are made from gravel and a cobblestone transport pipe. And you put that with whatever block you want to turn into a facade, and you click on it. You can see it's like getting a little bit of power here, and it would generate it if it was on, and then it would slowly make it. So that's a basic way you can kind of automate this thing here. Let's go ahead and turn that off because I think we're shooting out coal out the back. You probably want like an overflow chest right here so that any excess coal goes into another chest, just so it doesn't pop out the side like that. Okay, so the next thing to do is to start working on some machines that you can build with BuildCraft. So now we're getting to the fun part. The first thing you probably want to check out, it's one of the cheaper machines, is the mining well. Now that's crafted like so. Iron ingots, an iron gear, an iron pickaxe, and a redstone on top. And that will give you the mining well. Now you place it down, it doesn't have any GUI, you can't right click it, you can't do anything with it. You can't interact with the block at all. Now, you can see I have a Stirling engine with a bucket of lava in it. And I have a chest to the right of the mining well. Let's quickly go into creative mode. Now, I'm going to turn this engine on, and it's going to start powering the mining well, and you can see it's placing something. That's mining pipe. Basically, that's just going to keep going down, and you can see it's destroying blocks. Now, the blocks are deposited into the closest inventory, this chest. You have to have an inventory next to the mining well, otherwise it will just start spitting it out on the ground, which is not what we want. And that will dig a pillar all the way down until it reaches lava or bedrock. So that is the mining well. It's a good way to get some quick resources. However, there is an advanced way to get resources, which we'll talk about later. It's a pretty expensive machine though. Alright, so the next thing we want to talk about real quick is the chute, which is basically something BuildCraft added before the hoppers were ever invented into vanilla Minecraft, and that's all it does really, is it's a hopper. And deposits items. Okay. So the next thing is the oil. You might be wondering, hey, do I have to go grab a bunch of buckets and just start grabbing all the oil by hand? Well, no, you don't have to, because BuildCraft adds a machine for that, which is really helpful. Oh yeah, forgot to check real quick. This is the way to create a chute. However, you might as well just create a hopper because it's a little bit cheaper and it works the same way and it looks a little bit better, I think. This is pretty big. Alright, so let's just really quickly check the pump. This is what you're going to use to get your oil and any other liquids you want. You can use the BuildCraft pump. Now let me just quickly grab one from here and show you how it works. So you can see I have this oil spout here, and you want to place the pump right on top of the oil. And if you look, you can see it starts extending this little pipe to the first block of oil. Now, as I said, the wrench is very useful for manipulating BuildCraft objects to work right. A pump doesn't take much power. 4 redstone engines is enough to make the pump go at max speed. Now we're going to do a little bit with how to get fluid, or to transport fluid and store it. So what you're going to want to do is run a cable, a fluid pipe, so we just do it right here, to another object from BuildCraft called the tank. Now the tank is created like so. All it is a glass, makes one tank. One tank is 1 block, which can hold 16 buckets of liquid, and you can stack them on top of each other, creating one big tank. You cannot do them sideways like some other tanks from different mods, but you can do them on top. Let's quickly get rid of the weather again. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on these redstone engines. Start watching the pump. Actually, I think I might need the wooden pipe. I'll use the emerald, actually. Now, I'm pretty sure the pump pumps out its liquids straight into a pipe, so you won't need a redstone engine or anything connected to the actual thing. Now, I'm actually curious, can it just go straight into any pipe? It actually can, so you don't actually need a wooden pipe or an emerald pipe on the pump itself. Now you can see it's going through this pipe. Once those redstone engines heat up, it's going to move a lot faster. And it's stored in this tank. So you can see we have 2 buckets of oil, which is really neat. So that's going to go to this little, this was a geyser that I made manually. You can see it doesn't have any underground area. It's just something that I showed, or made real quick to show how the pump works. So the next thing you want to talk about is how to make oil into fuel. Fuel is a much more powerful resource for combustion engines. It works a lot better than oil, but it takes a lot more to get it. And you're going to need oil to start. Now, what you want to do is you want to gather a pretty good amount of oil. So I'm just going to quickly put a bunch in this tank to demonstrate. Alright, so now what you're going to do is you're going to, first thing you want is some kind of power. So I'm going to use combustion engines. As we talked about before, combustion engines need either oil or fuel and water. So this is where the pump comes in again. You can put it above a water source, turn on some engines, and I have some pipes going into the back of these combustion engines, and that will start putting in water. Now what you're going to need to turn oil into fuel is a refinery. And the refinery is crafted like so. Oops, just gave it to myself. Okay. It's more expensive. You're going to need 3 of those tanks, a diamond gear, and 2 redstone torches. So it is going to cost 4 diamonds to do this. As you can see, the pump doesn't have to be directly above the oil. Just wanted to point that out. It can get the source blocks from an area around it as well. Let's go ahead and turn these engine off so they don't explode. So as you can see, this is pumping out water. It's filling the combustion engines. Now we want to get some oil in them. We'll do that with the oil that we put in there, because the refinery requires a decent amount of power to run. So now I can turn on these engines and they'll heat up. You can see they're starting to get enough here. Actually, I don't think they're turning on with those levers. I put facades up, so I don't think they're actually turning on with those. Let's quickly turn them on like this. Okay, so now you can see those are all going, and they are powering the refinery. Oh, that turns the light off. I didn't even notice that. Now, we put some oil into the refinery, and it starts doing its thing. It starts moving up and down, and you can see there's a little bit of fuel in there. Now we could use another pipe to start pumping fuel into the other tank. So now we have a system that is automatically creating oil into fuel with the refinery, some combustion engines, pumps, and tanks. So this is one way you can automate your like a decent big machine. You can have multiple refineries, more engines, and that's how you create fuel, is in the refinery. I'm going to quickly turn that off just so that we don't have any explosions, because that would stink. So what was this? Alright, so let's quickly move on to the next item, which is the auto crafting table. Or the auto workbench, actually. It used to be called auto crafting table, I'm pretty sure. This item is pretty good if you're just using BuildCraft. It's basically a way to auto craft. It's a really basic way to do it, though, because it's so cheap. You can do that, you can make it real quick. Let's say I want to auto craft some furnaces. You can either, you place the recipe in there, and then you can either click this to craft one, but it takes a long time, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to actually supply it with some more. You can either do it via pipe, which will get faster as this heats up. However, if you just put a stack in there, it will automatically even out. Now this is pretty useful, but now you could pretty easily do that with holding down left click to craft in a vanilla crafting table. But as you can see, it is crafting furnaces, and it's being pulled out into this chest, and it's automatically doing that on its own. It just takes a while to craft each one. So that is the auto workbench. Another interesting block is the floodgate. Now the floodgate, when you pump fluids into it, like water, it will disperse it out into the world. Now it doesn't have GUI at all, so you can't right click on it, but as you can see, it just placed a source block of water. Now I'll place another one. So if you're trying to fill in a lake or something, or build a pool, this could help you do it faster, which is pretty neat. And one more, and it should create a full-on automatic, or a full-on water source, infinite water source. So that's pretty cool, and it can be really useful if you're trying to fill in a lake. It will take a lot of time out of that. Alright, let's go do this machine over here. You might be wondering what this is. This is a filler, and the filler is crafted like so. 2 ink sacks, a landmark, dandelions, gold, chest, and crafting table. Now, you're also going to need landmarks, which is a redstone torch with lapis lazuli on it. You're going to need 3 or 4 of those, depending on what you're doing. Now, if you place down a landmark, and then you put down a redstone signal next to it, you can see it creates this grid pattern, which allows you to easily place another landmark, and another landmark, like so. And then you can punch this out. Now, what you want to do is you want to create a box out of the thing you're going to fill or like destroy, because this can do both. It can clear an area or it can fill one up. And when you do that, you want to right click on a landmark, just like I've done here. You have height and your square that you're doing. You right click on the landmark that's connected to everything. As you can see, that created this red outline around this pillar of grass here that I want to take out because I don't like it and I want it out of my base. So now you place the filler right in front of that landmark. And you can see it creates construction tape all around it. Now when you open the filler's GUI, you can see it has different things: fill, flatten, horizon, pyramid, stairs, box, or clear. So we're going to set it to clear real quick, and we are going to get, now this isn't from BuildCraft, these items that I have here. These items are from thermal expansion, but for making the tutorial easier, you basically just need to power this machine. And if you give it a lot of power, like I just did, it will do its work fast. However, notice it destroyed all the blocks. It did not drop them, it's not in its inventory, it destroys them. Because a filler could be really overpowered if you like clear an area that giant really, really fast. Now I'm going to get it prepared for some other modes and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so now let's check a couple other modes. You have the fill mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's going to fill this entire area in with any block that you want, so I'm not going to demonstrate that one. It's really simple. You do need to put resources in to for it to place, so it could take a lot to fill it. Flatten means that it's going to flatten this entire area. So basically, if there's anything in this that is above the limit, it's going to make it flat. Horizon, I'm actually not entirely sure what that one does. I think it makes an area, like destroys the area down here instead of flattening it at the top. I think it destroys it all down here at a flat area, I think. Not entirely sure on that one. But let's look at pyramid. Say we want to build a diamond pyramid. Give it power, and apparently a lot more blocks. There's the diamonds. There they are. So let's quickly give it a lot more blocks here. Now you can see it built us a diamond pyramid. Now let's quickly set this to stairs. Built us stairs. A box. Built us a box. And now let's clear it all out. And let's quickly make another box. Just to show you. That it doesn't fill it in. It just does the walls around it, and you have it's going to do this one, so it will be a 2-block high space is what it's going to make. Let's grab a little bit more diamonds to finish it off. So as you can see, it's done with the box, and it's hollow. So you can create a quick shelter or something like that just by having this on hand with some means of power. So as you can see, it is pretty sweet. Let's quickly just do stairs one more time, since it might change a little bit depending on... Oh, come on, let me fly. There we go. See, it just does a staircase in the box, starting from there and going one block up each time. Which is pretty cool, so you can build some crazy stuff with that. Now, that is going to be it for this part, guys, as it is already time. We have probably just one more part to cover in the next episode, and it's gonna be a little... we're gonna get into some stuff that's gets a little bit more complicated and expensive. So that will be next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, please leave a like, because it helps out a ton. And if it helped you in any way, it would help me out a lot if you left a like or a comment, left me some feedback. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel to be notified when I upload more videos like this. We'll see you guys next time.